Welcome to Ear Biscuits, the podcast where two lifelong friends talk about life for a long time. I'm Rhett.
And I'm Link. Welcome to the round table of dim lighting, where today we are discussing...
Oh, that's going to hurt a lot of people. All
right, fine. We'll do it. We'll do it your way. I was trying to ease them into it. Change it a little bit, but still give the teaser.
You know, I'm not even a man of tradition.
I know. That's why I'm like, let's start to change it.
But I believe if you change your tradition, it should be done with good reason and in good fashion. I'm a man of principle, not a man of tradition.
All right.
Principles, I'm all about those. Tradition, bullshit.
All right, let's start over.
Welcome to Ear Biscuits, the podcast where two lifelong friends talk about life for a long time. I'm Rhett.
And I'm Link. This week at the round table of dim lighting, we're going to help you figure out how to stop hugging your boss.
Yep, it's happening everywhere.
And once you start, it's hard to stop, apparently. We going to help you. We're also going to get to an update on the baby girl competition that I am involved in. And you are not.
Well, you may not know some developments that have happened.
I don't. I've heard that we're going to get an update.
Yeah. Well, there's other developments beyond the ones that you will share.
Oh.
I'll let you know.
Well, Jamie will share. Let's hear it. The update. Let's get to that.
Hi, Rhett and Link. I'm Stella. And I'm Katie. And I called a few weeks ago to let you know that Link competed in my college radio station's baby girl bracket that we do every single year. He won the very first round, and I'm here to tell you he won the very last. Yes, he won the entire bracket. And Link, I want to congratulate you and let you know that you are 90.5 FM WUOG Athens Baby Girl of the Year for 2025. It's official. Congratulations, yeah. Thank you. We love you.
I didn't know that.
We'd love to know what you think of this. Rhett, I regret to inform you that you were never even entered into the bracket. I fought for you. Yeah. I think you're a baby girl. Maybe next year. Next year might be your year. Next year.
This isn't about me.
Well, thanks, guys. Bye.
So who did I beat?
I don't know who you beat fully, but they also left a comment on Spotify saying that you did beat out Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders is a baby girl?
I don't believe
Roderick Heffley, who I don't know who that is. And then Will W, I'm going to say, because I'm going to butcher the last name. And he's a local musician there in Athens.
A local musician.
Sounds like competition.
I out baby girl to local musician.
Sounds like I should have been in the bracket.
So what do I get?
I think you just got it. I think that was it. I think you get the recognition.
And now I have it.
Maybe if you go to Athens, you can get a free donut or something.
Should this be my email closer? Like the official...
Your signature, you mean?
Baby girl.
A closer is different than your signature.
Wishing you best.
That's a closer.
From the top baby girl in Athens, Georgia.
2025 Baby Girl of the Year, so-and-so FM, Athens, Georgia, would be how you would probably say that.
That's going to be how I'm introduced for my TED Talk. Well, wow. I didn't know if I wanted to be nominated, but now I feel kind of good now that I've won.
Congratulations.
It's quite a swing.
I'm a little bit envious. I will say, this was not by my design. This isn't anything that I asked for. In fact, as you might imagine, this was something I was asked to do by the younger, more informed people here at Mythical in order to promote my Songs to Song episode 2 with Lizzie McAlpine. They were like, we want you to do this trend on your personal socials. And if you didn't notice.
I saw you running in slow motion.
My personal socials are, not as inactive as yours, but they are like, yours are completely dead and mine are like an occasional breath, like you walk up to it and you can kind of like, you feel like you have to put your ear next to it to make sure it's still breathing. That's my social media presence at this point. So they were like, there was a trend a couple years ago where people would, you know how when they explain things to us, and I consider myself like more with it than the average 47-year-old. I have to be because of what I do for a living.
Yeah.
But still, they sometimes explain things to me And it doesn't make any sense. So they were like, there was a trend where, and let me show it to you. And they showed me one, and it was a girl getting up and acting like she was going somewhere, and she was singing along with a sped up version of Lizzie's song "Ceilings."
Okay. Which you just did.
And so then I was like, okay, that's what. Why is it that song? And they were like, oh, it's just people to use that song. It was a thing. It was a trend. It was just doing these two things together. And so then I was like, well, what's my take on it? Remember when we used to do all this original social media and we would ask this question?
Yeah.
We hated ourselves for a few years.
Yeah, we hated that.
All those videos are still up on the internet when we were doing original social media videos. And we didn't come up with most of them, but we would then try to like massage them into something that we felt
it made sense
to us. So we were like, what's the angle? Like, what's the joke? Why are we doing this? And what's our original version of it?
Mm-hmm. And so it's not just funny that we did it.
Right.
But what we did was funny. And it turns out that was really hard to do.
And it didn't work.
It didn't work.
So I didn't, what I decided to do? Not ask any further questions.
You just did it.
And also, not having any angle. Just do the thing. I'm like, okay, they're like, you're going to wear the Mythical Society blankie thing, hoodie.
Uh-huh.
You're going to get up and you're going to run from one part of the building into the parking lot and then back into the studio where you did the Lizzie interview.
Okay.
I was like, okay. We did it. That was the second take. The first take took a while for me to land and get in place. And I was like, okay, I guess I did the thing. And they put it up on the internet, and basically, apparently, this is being perceived as my first real play for baby girlness.
Okay. I was like, yeah, where's this going? Back to baby girl.
So many baby, like people are like, okay, baby girl, like, oh, officially, like I was like, okay, listen, I made
Athens.
the case. I made the principled intellectual case for my baby girlness, which I understand is not baby girl. I understand that's not baby girl, but that's the way that my mind works. That's the way this baby girl's mind works. And so I made the case for my baby girlness, which I think is rooted in reality. But then when I just did something based on total instinct and just following the directions of 25-year-olds,
yeah,
apparently I baby girled myself right out there. So maybe I'll be in the, I don't think the returning champion can actually be in the bracket.
What do you know?
I don't think there can be repeats. So I don't think that Link is allowed to be.
He can't face this baby girl.
Or maybe
champ.
another city needs to do a baby girl bracket. You got Athens, Georgia. How about Macon, Georgia, where I'm from? Hometown boy comes back, sweeps the baby girl. I'll come home for that. I'll come home for that.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I would. Go see my old house.
Here's the problem. If you're waiting a year for Athens, then by the time it rolls around, again, a year from now, baby girl won't be a thing. You better try to get this done in the next month.
I don't think baby girl is that much of a flash in the pan.
Baby girl going away. It's already fading.
You always assume that anything that's happening on the internet only happens for like a week.
Now that I've championed it.
I've noticed this about you. You're like, hold on, are we too late to this? And I'm like, well, some things, yeah, but some things they become part of the cultural vernacular.
Baby girl is not going to be
and they don't go away.
It ain't gonna be
baby girl's probably been around for more than 12 months already.
It hasn't. I'm the champ. I should know.
Oh, you don't know anything, man.
Don't even step to me.
So I've been thinking about maybe, I know that baby girl is not something that can be calculated, but it was so easy to just stand up and run across the parking lot and sing. To
a Lizzie song.
I didn't even sing the song. I was like, I'm not going to lip sync because I'll get it wrong. It's going too fast.
I'll let you have a turn if you really want to. You can baby girl it.
No, that's not. No. If I'm going baby girl, I want a baby girl on my own 2 feet, my 2 little baby girl feet.
Okay. All right.
But congratulations.
Yeah, I did not know that was what the update was going to be. I'm flattered, flabbergasted, and still torn.
Well, and while we're at it, Link, we might as well just pour it on. Somebody decided that because I had a dancing focused TikTok or Instagram that you needed one as well. So now you have what is that one called?
Link's dancing.
Link
dancing.
Link dancing.
Link dancing. It's a older clip of you when your hair was down.
Yeah.
And
I think that was from the viral boom. I've seen that dance move.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Oh no. This is from GMM. This is from how to dance, how to be attractive or something. This is the one that they used. Okay. Me and my helmet head.
You think the same person is making these?
Probably.
Okay. All right.
Maybe not.
So you are up to 14,000 followers.
Okay.
Let's see how I'm
where
doing.
you're at. Rhett dancing.
Rhett dancing. He's already passed me a followers?
Really? I mean, you got 8,000?
Hold on a second.
And there's so many. I think.
Hold on. Did you start before me?
this one only has 61 posts, whereas yours has 200.
What is happening?
I think that's the problem. People are unfollowing that account because that's what's happening.
256
Because
posts.
they're going too strong.
The first one's from 3 weeks ago on Link Dancing, and it has
Oh, come on.
54,000 likes, which...
But the dancing isn't even good.
I have better dancing videos out there.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Strong start.
The hips get into it. The butt gets into it.
Okay.
And I didn't ask for this. It just
Someone
happens.
says, I generally can't tell if this is AI. No, it's
Might
real.
not be. It might be. I don't know.
Okay, so all right, I guess I've lost twice. So if you
Sorry,
want to
Rhett.
go and watch Rhett dancing, which I just think is definitively a better account, definitely more interesting. I mean, look at what's happening in
It's better dancing.
I mean, it's
I'm capable of that, but that's not what.
it's mesmerizing. I mean, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you scrolling? They're all the same.
I'm looking at the progressive drop off.
People are losing interest.
Yeah. So Rhett dancing. Oh God.
Okay. Another thing you can look at on the internet, just add to your list of things to look up. You can go over to the Good Mythical More channel. Yesterday we released a super long, like about half of the Rhett Link roast. We had our employees and some talented Mythical Beast employee comedians like professionally roast us.
Yep.
And that was a special on the Mythical Society from a while back. We're really proud of the stuff that we're creating and sharing exclusively on the Mythical Society, which is our paid fan club. But we want you to know the type of caliber specials we have over there. So we uploaded half of that. It is censored. It's uncensored on Mythical Society because everything's uncensored. But on the YouTube channel, we've censored it and we've given you half of it. But it gives you a really good idea of what you might like more of if you went over to mythicalsociety.com. So check it out on the Good Mythical More channel. One day it's cool. The next day I'm sweating through my clothes, and I finally realized it was time for a wardrobe refresh. Quince had exactly what I was looking for: lighter layers, better fabrics, and prices that didn't make you second guess every click.
I love merino wool. It could be my favorite fabric.
Okay.
It's very light, it's very breathable, keeps you warm, but also keeps you cool. It's like magic.
It's high performance.
And they've got a number of things in this merino wool fabric, including a nice little sweater and a button-up and even a t-shirt.
And you're getting the double extra larges.
I am, and they fit great.
They have that.
And also, like, price-wise, like compared to,
Right.
if you just Google merino wool sweater or whatever, you're going to be paying many times more typically than what you're gonna get at Quince.
Yeah, the prices are very reasonable, and it's why I can say I'm gonna get a Comfort Stretch trench coat in khaki. I've been wanting one of those.
You can answer the door, your wife with the
Yeah.
trench coat on? You've always wanted to do that? Like
Yeah.
she's coming home? And
Yeah. A little bit of that. I didn't want to say it, but that's a little bit of it. But also, it's good in different weather conditions. And I don't know what's going on.
All this looks very sharp, enough for a nice dinner out, but you can feel like you're getting away with wearing loungewear. And compared to other high-end brands, the quality is right there, but without the luxury markup.
That's because Quince works directly with top artisans and skips the middlemen, so you're getting premium clothes for up to 80% less. Plus, everything is made responsibly in factories that prioritize safe and ethical practices.
Elevate your closet with Quince. Go to quince.com/ear for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns.
That's QUINCE.com/ear to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/ear.
If you're constantly on the move or just tired of skipping meals, Huel has you covered, spelled Huel. And their Black Edition, ready to drink, is a total game changer.
It's a complete meal in one bottle. It's got 35 grams of protein, 27 vitamins and minerals, it's high fiber, and it's low sugar, so you feel full, you feel focused, and you're ready for your day. No prep, no cleanup, just grab and go.
Huel's already sold over 500 million meals around the world, and now it's your turn to try it. For me, mornings can get a little bit chaotic. Between morning workouts, getting the kids to school, getting to the office, I'm usually out the door in minutes, and I don't have time to make a balanced meal. That's where Huel Black Edition comes in.
And it tastes good. It actually tastes like a milkshake. It keeps me full and it helps me stay sharp through the morning rush. It's also super affordable. Meals are less than $5 and I love that I don't have to sacrifice nutrition just because I'm short on time.
Start saving time and money without compromising your nutrition today with this exclusive offer for you of 15% off plus a free gift using our exclusive code EAR at Huel.com.
That's 15% off plus a free gift using our exclusive code EAR at Huel.com. All right, see our description for the terms and conditions.
Skip the stress, not the nutrition. Try Huel today for complete nutrition, bottled.
Let's hear another.
Hi, this is Allie, and I just am wondering if you guys have ever had to break a bad habit. I started biting my nails again, and it hurts. Why? I don't know why I do this to myself, but any bad habits that you guys are trying to break or have broken. Thank you. Bye.
Well, thanks for being vulnerable. You're doing something that you know in your brain is not good for you, but your instincts are telling you, I have to keep doing it. I don't understand myself.
What is really bad about nail biting? Bad for your teeth?
Well, first of all, if you start ripping it, you might get too close, and that does hurt. Whew, that's horrible. And there is stuff, the common deterrent is showing under a microscope what people have under their fingernails to gross you out. It's like
that doesn't work.
It's like sending a wayward child to prison for a few hours.
Yeah, that only works. It doesn't work. It doesn't last. They forget about it. You forget about what's under your fingernails. You go back to bite them.
And maybe it's ultimately good for you to be
for your immunity,
fighting that stuff off from an immunity standpoint. When I was growing up, when I was in like 3rd, 4th grade, I had a really bad habit of biting my fingernails, and my papa didn't like it. I don't know why. It's just like, get your fingers out of your mouth, boy. It's like, it's not a becoming habit of a self-controlled young man. Okay. I wasn't given the reasons, but I was given a bribe. If you stop biting your fingernails, I'll buy you that skateboard you want. And I stopped biting my fingernails, and he bought me the skateboard and the elbow pads and the knee pads. And I would only skateboard at Nana and Papa's house because they had a cement driveway.
Gotta have that.
And then I started biting my fingernails again.
Right, you got the skateboard.
Because I got the skateboard. But I felt horrible. But I didn't feel so bad that I stopped biting my nails because I couldn't.
You still do it?
Yes, I have it. And I still do it. The thing that really broke me of it was my teeth moved. like the actual physical location of how my teeth interact with my nails, it became almost impossible with the way that I bit my nails in a particular way.
You lost the ability.
I couldn't do it anymore. But what I would do is, and now I have to cut my nails. I still look around my nails. I still bite that skin around the nails. It's a nasty habit.
So short. Like you don't have any white. You don't show any white.
I cut them 2 days ago, and there's a little bit of white.
No, like that's a little bit of white.
But you see some white.
Streak of white. I will do that. I don't really do it anymore.
It's a nasty habit to bite the skin around your nails, and that will hurt too if you mess it up.
I'm sure I have a bunch of them, and I'm sure they're habits that you have noticed before if you watch us.
I think you have to wear gloves. Before you talk about your habit, I'm just saying, my best guess is just wear gloves for like 2 weeks. Don't allow yourself to do it for 2 weeks and see if that breaks a habit. How long do they say it takes X amount of days to form a habit? There's X amount of weeks to form a habit. And Y amount of weeks to break a habit.
What if it's fingerless gloves, though? Then you got a problem.
Jamie, look up how long does it take to break a habit.
Well, I think it depends.
Wear gloves, however long that is. But you were saying nothing's coming to mind, but you got some nasty habits.
The one thing that I know that gets on my wife's nerves, and you probably seen me do it. I know you've seen me do it.
I actually
sticking
don't
my
know.
finger in my ear.
Oh God, I didn't know you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
Sticking your finger in your ear?
Yeah.
I can't say I've ever noticed you doing this.
Really?
And I hate that you're telling.
So, and it's for a very specific reason.
Turn this way.
I like the way it feels. No,
do it to the other ear so I can see.
I don't do it to this one as much.
But let me see. I want to see how deep you're going.
I'll tell you exactly how deep I'm going. I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing.
Are you pulling? All right, tell me.
I have weird skin issues, eczema all over places, right?
Okay.
And not anything that you usually can see. It's little subtle things. But like what happens in my ears is I have dry skin in my ears. It's not ear wax, it's dry skin. And what will happen is like if I don't get it out, sometimes it'll migrate and you'll see it. And it might even fall out, fall into my shoulder, which is like a horror thing. Like, oh God, something fell out of his ear and it's on his shoulder. Like
ear dandruff.
The idea of that happening is so gross to me that what I do is I will reach in and it comes in waves. I don't have any right now. I guess it's like seasonal or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll feel there's like dry skin in there, and I don't have to use my fingernail. I literally just push on it and pull out. And then there'll be like dry skin on my finger that I just sort of like put into the wind. I test the wind direction with that sometimes.
Okay.
I'm golfing.
Have you ever tasted it?
No.
Good.
And so Jesse hates this because I'll do it when we're going to something where I really don't want dry skin coming out of my ears.
Yeah. And well, are you in the bathroom or are you in the car?
I'm driving usually.
Oh, yeah, and she's on that side. She's on your passenger side.
She's like, please don't do that.
Why do you only do it to the passenger side ear?
This one's worse.
Oh, really?
This one's worse.
Maybe you've made it worse.
Well, I don't know the science behind it. I'm just saying that I can't believe you haven't seen me do this.
I didn't know that's what you're doing. I thought maybe, because that's the other side from me. See, I'm the driver, you're the passenger.
No, I mean, I do it in all life. All throughout life, I'll do that. I'll just kind of just check. Just quick check.
Now, if it does feel good to I'll grab inside of my ears, not in the hole, but in the lobe part, and I'll just start pulling down and pulling out, like doing a massage, like pulling your ears out, pulling your ears down, pulling them back, going in a circle. Like, I'll do that on the way to a party.
Self-driving.
But then I won't scatter anything.
Well, if you don't have anything, there's nothing to scatter.
Yeah, that's not a problem. I mean, when I was a kid, dude, I don't know if it was eczema, but I had a horrendous problem on the
behind the ear.
behind the ear where it would crack open.
That was a fungus.
Ooh, that was bad. We got it taken care
It's
of.
probably a vitamin deficiency
It
or
was
something.
absolutely painful. It was like my ear was just like rotting off of my
Yeah, I had that.
skull.
I think it is fungal or it's like literally it might be a vitamin deficiency. Because you know how when you get like the corner of your mouth will sometimes get like feel like it's torn?
Yeah?
That's a vitamin deficiency.
Well, what vitamin?
I can't remember, but I guess I haven't had to worry about it in a while. I've been doing AG1, not a sponsor right now. Yeah, they've been in the past. But
Okay.
yeah, it's a vitamin
Huh.
deficiency.
Yeah, you don't want anything in the corner of your mouth. You don't want anything inside of your ear that people can see. You don't want something on your shoulders. I think you're doing a good thing.
The other bad
Maybe
habit.
just do it at home.
The other bad habit, and this is something that, I mean, we don't watch a lot of the stuff that we make back, but we both say, I know, like a lot. Everyone says like a lot now, right? Like everyone that we know and everyone that we're around says like a lot in their talking. And if I do happen to listen to myself talk, that's a bad habit that gets on my nerves. But,
Do I do that?
I don't hear it.
I'm curious if
I'm
do
not
that.
thinking about it. But I don't think about it when I hear other people talk.
What is the habit that we discovered as we're shooting Wonderhole season 2?
I mean,
We're very focused on. Well, there's no lines. There's no scripting, ever.
there's an outline.
So
There's a bulleted outline.
we are having a moment-to-moment reactionary, improvisational, outlined conversation. And we both have this habit, and we've given it to each other and reinforced it, and Ben, our director, has to point it out. And it's kind of frustrating when he points out that we've done it, because we have to start over. But he was like, listen, the only reason I'm doing this is because this is a habit, and it's something you guys don't need to be doing. We will start sentences with I mean, and we don't do it. I don't think we do it.
I mean, maybe we do.
Maybe we do it a lot. I mean,
I think we do it.
maybe we do.
I think it always so far, in my observation, it's happened. There's a lot of intense conversations and situations in Wonderhole where we're like solving a problem, and that's when it happens.
I think I know why. I think we have a habit of filling space with something to signify, I'm about to say something. I may not know what it is
Because we
fully.
have to operate as a duo.
We operate as a duo so much that we've used the same signal. I'm about to talk. I mean, now I'm going to say something that I mean.
I mean is like, which we also say quite a bit. I know I say, I say
And
right.
we used to
I
say,
yeah.
we used to start sentences with, okay. Especially when we were shooting like short form stuff, and I just said like too.
I think you probably say it a lot, but everyone I know uses like a lot. And so it is just something that happens and you don't even think about it.
But if we think about it for 2 weeks, I bet you we can eradicate it.
So I was watching this speech expert talk on that Diary of a CEO podcast. And he was talking about these habits.
Okay.
Saying, and like, and And he said, when you think that you're about to say one of these things, one of these filler words, just pause. I think one of the things that is difficult for us to do is that a pause ends up being an opportunity for the other guy to speak.
Exactly.
But it was interesting because I did that, the episode of Within Reason with Alex O'Connor, we recorded it in here. And we don't do a lot of just one of us.
You're the only one there to answer a question.
I did a lot of slow talking and a lot of pausing in that, mostly because I'm talking about something that I know people are going to take every word that I say and use it against me.
Which they are.
So I try to be a little bit more calculated in what I say. And even then, because I'm not a professional communicator about those things, I end up saying things I'm like, that didn't come out right. But there was much more pausing in my speech. And when he asked me a question, I would wait that long before I started speaking. I'm trying to do that just in interpersonal conversations so I don't say and like and so often. Because I think that I might be able to completely eradicate them from my speech. You know?
And I'm trying to give you space to finish your thought.
And because our conversations are not scripted, and we don't know exactly, we do know somewhat what the other person is going to say, like the big meaty pieces, like the skeleton of a scene for Wonderhole is scripted. When I say scripted, outlined, planned. But the specific words that are going to come out of our mouths and the specific cadence and whether or not we respond to something that the other guy says,
all up for grabs.
It changes each take by design. I don't think it's been a problem. The I mean thing has been a problem, but as soon as he tells us, I think we're able to stop. Sometimes we do it right on the next take.
Yes.
But
now I'm afraid to talk.
I think it's fine to just talk. We already talk pretty slow. We're from the South. That's fine.
Yep. I don't have any other habits though. Caffeine's
not, it's not a habit.
The thing that I've noticed though is I'm looking for reasons to introduce caffeine earlier. This year it's started to spread.
Do you mean you seem to drink caffeine
like for the past couple of weeks
for the purpose of not being tired?
Yeah.
Which I think is, I think it's probably a sign of something else that's going on.
I've gotten a lot of stuff checked out.
No, I'm not saying anything serious. I'm just saying if you're tired in the afternoon, there's probably there's something else you could do besides caffeine that would make you not be tired in the afternoon.
But I'm hooked on it.
Yeah, you would have to go through a hellish process of getting off of it. And I don't think you have to.
Well,
I don't think you necessarily should.
It's 2:00.
I'm just saying if you have to have caffeine.
At noon, I drink caffeine, which I used to not do. I used to drink one in the morning and then I would drink one at 2:30 or 3. Then I started drinking them over lunch.
And you drink one at the end of the day now,
no,
like 4:00 sometimes.
I do that if it's Friday, if I'm gonna have a late night.
Okay.
But I don't do that on like a school night. But I got in that middle one over lunch, and now here it is 2:00, and my head is hurting a little bit.
Yeah, it's an
and
addiction.
I can tell it's that it wants the caffeine earlier. It wants it right now.
But you don't feel like you're about to fall asleep.
No. All I feel is the tinge of the headache.
How much sleep did you get last? Let's look. How much sleep did you get last night?
I don't do that anymore. I lost my watch and my ring doesn't charge anymore.
Get a new one. Okay, what time did you go to bed last night?
9:00, 9:30. Woke up at 6:30.
Is that 9 hours?
I woke up at 6. 9 to 6 is...
That's 9 hours of sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
6:30 to 9:30?
I'm definitely in bed for 9 hours.
But you go to sleep almost instantaneously.
Yeah, I woke up once in the night. I crave the caffeine.
And
I'm not sleepy. Look at me. Look at how awake I am. Rah!
Last night I got 6 hours and 23 minutes of sleep.
And I
was in bed for 7 hours.
I like having it. It's so weird because it's virtually tasteless. Not completely, as we've proven on Good Mythical Morning, but virtually. But those drinks that I have, and it's just that yerba mate
I'm
and
just
then
saying
hot
that
coffee.
if you're getting 9 hours of sleep you shouldn't be getting tired in the afternoon.
Well,
Getting a headache is a different thing.
I don't know if I'm getting tired.
You're just saying you're
hankering.
addicted and you want it.
Yeah, I have a bad habit. I gotta slow my roll a little.
But your sources of caffeine are not bad for you. Coffee's good for you.
Mate.
Mate's probably good for you. It's probably
Yeah.
got like polyphenols in it and stuff.
Yeah. All right, so keep on keeping on. All right.
As long as you're able to sleep.
It also says there's a range of 18 to 254 days to break a habit, but the average is 66 days.
66. You got to wear gloves for 66 days.
They also have like polish that's supposed to taste really bad.
I was going to say that's probably
Okay.
better than gloves. You don't want to be the gloved person.
You could just have fingertip gloves.
Instead of fingertipless gloves.
Right.
Just
The opposite.
Thimbles.
Whatever they do with the fingertips for the fingerless gloves, you need to round those up. Did they sell those separate? Gloveless fingers.
Let's listen to another voicemail.
Hi, Rhett Link. My name is Ashley, and I have a question. So, my ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend texted me asking me why we broke up. And he, I broke up with him for obvious reasons. He was a very bad person, and he's also a big cheater. So, do I tell her? Do I not tell her? Do I even text her? I have a new boyfriend. We're engaged to my fiance, and I don't think he would be comfortable with it. So what do I do? Thank you.
This is girl code shit, man. You got to tell her.
Oh, you know about the girl code?
I know enough to know that, yes, you got to tell her.
It seems obvious to me. I mean,
yeah.
Jenna's not here because she's at the optometrist. She got something in her eye this morning. Couldn't get it
Yeah.
out. She rolled into our office and she's got a daggum patch over her eye. I felt sorry for
A
her.
self-made patch.
So
She's a MacGyver.
we'll keep you posted on what she digs out. Maybe it's worth something. Jamie, school us on the girl code of this.
I mean, if this was me and someone was like, hey, why did you break up? She probably already thinks that her boyfriend's cheating on her. She's like, I already think this, but I want to see. And he probably painted the ex as like, oh, she's crazy. So guys do that all the time. So you got to tell her.
Yeah, and it would be a different situation if it was unprompted.
Yes.
So if somebody is, I don't know the girl code, I'm just inferring some things here, but this is my understanding of it as it applies to this situation. If your ex-boyfriend, who's a bad dude in your estimation, starts dating someone new, and you don't know this person, there is no obligation. You need to move on. There's no obligation for you to get yourself in that business. But
right.
if this girl calls you and asks you why you broke up, you don't have to go into all the dirty details, but you know why she's calling and asking you that. So you have to tell her the pertinent information.
Yeah.
I mean, let's use something that's not a relationship situation.
To me, it made me think of job references.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to work with me now, huh? Well, let me see your references. I got to talk to who you worked with before. That's the one thing that, not the one thing, but that's a big thing that we've learned, is that no matter how good you feel about somebody when you interview them, always ask and follow through on the references. You have to. You have to. You got to do that work as an employer, as a big boss.
And rarely are you going to, in my experience, and we thankfully don't have to do a lot of this ourselves anymore, but in my experience, it's not that you're going to call a former employer and get a bad reference, because they're going to give out names to people of people who they think will give them good references, right?
Yeah.
But what's more telling is the references that you don't get, that they don't provide.
Yeah, the last person
The last
you worked
person
for?
that they worked for.
Well, why is that not a reference?
And then they might have to explain that. It's like, well, it ended
Yeah.
poorly. We had a difference of opinion, and this is the kind of thing that they might say about me or whatever. But that's all part of the job history. So I don't know. So this would be the equivalent situation would be someone calling us and saying, why did you fire this person? I think there's legal issues with that.
Mm-hmm.
So we typically don't do that. We don't.
Badmouth somebody?
Yeah, we don't do that.
Well, we certainly do what's legal, only.
Right.
Because we personally don't do it. You know?
There's a lot of
There's a
very
reason why
specific hoops that
we've
you have to
invested
jump through.
in HR and people.
So this isn't a legal issue in the relational thing. This is, again, it's just the girl code.
Now, her thinking her fiance is not going to like this.
Is that what she said?
That's what she
did.
said. But
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that she said that her ex is not going to like it. I was like, of course he's not going to like
no,
it. You're
her
saying her
fiance. She doesn't think her fiance would like what exactly? I think you need to have a conversation there.
Well, okay. Let's give an amendment to the girl code that we're just making up on the spot. If you think it's going to draw you into drama that it shouldn't be a part of your life anymore, don't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because if all of a sudden he's going to start texting you and what'd you say about me? And all of a sudden now you got to deal with his ass again.
Right.
It's not worth your time. She made the decision to date this guy. She might have to learn things the hard way. But I'm just saying, if in a moment of transparency and honesty, someone's like, hey, why'd you break up with this guy? It's like, well, he's an asshole and he cheated on me.
Yeah. Or you could say, I think you already know everything that you're asking.
Oh, that's even better.
And that's just a sign. But it's like, I didn't say anything. I didn't give any information. I think you need to talk to your fiance before you do anything. I think that's a good habit that goes both ways in a committed marriage. Is if you think someone's
anything
gonna be
of that,
of that nature, it's like it's a good habit to talk about it and work together as a team. Work together. This is a good team building exercise for you. You got very little at stake unless something happens like what Rhett's talking about. You get pulled into drama, which is something to think about.
It can happen.
That's definitely probably what the fiance's problem is. They're like, you don't want to invite that back in. I have a feeling, and I don't know, this is an assumption. I have a feeling that if this guy was such a douchebag, that she probably blocked him. So at least maybe she's already shut out the drama from that end.
Yeah, he can't get in touch.
How did the ex get the number is the other thing. She's like, she texted me. So that's also weird.
Yeah.
She went out of her way to find the number, which means she might be in a dire situation.
There's something going on there.
Right. She's finding it on his phone and then tapping it into her phone.
Tapping it right in.
Tap it, tap, 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 tap. I don't know. I think there might need to be some sort of app to take care of this. They have it for professors. You know, if you're a college student signing up for classes, you can look up
a review of a boyfriend?
Of the professors.
No, I know that. I'm moving to what the app you're suggesting.
You're one step ahead of me in the point that I was making, which is yes. When you break up with somebody, yeah.
This sounds like a social, what do they call that system in China where there's like a social currency kind of thing, and if you get a certain number of demerits, you can't travel and stuff?
Ooh. I mean, people do.
That's a government thing. We're not talking about that.
You know, I was trying it on for size, but these type of apps I think are problematic.
This is amazing.
It's basically how Facebook started.
This
right?
made me completely remember something that I would have never remembered.
Okay, that's the beauty of your biscuits.
When I was in Peru, and this was my last day when I was supposed to be on the plane getting to LAX, but then we had to stay an extra night. I get on the shuttle from the airport with a guy, and he knew who I was and had watched. He wasn't like a huge mythical beast, but he knew who I was, and so we were talking. And I was asking him what he did, and he said, "I'm a photographer, and my specialty is dating profile pics."
What?
And he lives in Austin, and I was like, this totally makes sense that this is the thing. At first, I thought maybe he was trolling me, but then I was like, no, he's not trolling me. This is a real thing. his clients are first of all, if you are single and you use the apps to date, which is most single people.
Yeah, your photo game's got to be strong.
This is how people make all their decisions about you. You're gonna trust your dumbass friend who doesn't even know how to do, right composition, or are you gonna do all selfies? No.
Right.
When you can get a professional photographer,
But he's got to be good at taking a photo that
doesn't look like a
professional.
portrait. Exactly. So he basically said he has a meeting with someone and he tries to figure out who they are and like what he can kind of bring out of them in a way that would be compelling, and then does a photo shoot with them. And so, yeah, I didn't see any of the pictures because I didn't want to ask too many probing questions.
I wonder if he would just do it on a phone.
He might. That's the thing. I don't know. But
Like not a high quality camera.
well, every camera is high quality now.
Yeah. But you kind of wanted to make it seem like
You don't want it to look like glamour shots or like your graduation photo,
candid.
but you want to, like, what do you want to capture? Like, what is the vibe that you want people to take from these photos? And it's better for somebody who knows what they're doing to do that for you probably than yourself.
Yeah. They do that for Airbnbs and for
Why
real
not
estate.
yeah. So and again, Airbnbs, great example of where the pictures plus the reviews are how you make the decision.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think we can start treating people like Airbnb though in restaurants, because if someone
We have
breaks
nothing
up
to
with
lose. We're married.
if someone breaks up with you, by default you get a low star rating. You know what I'm saying? If it's
That's
still
the other
5
side of
stars,
it.
you're still in the relationship.
Right.
So you're gonna rely on someone's
We just broke
ex's
up. 5
opinion.
stars.
You're gonna rely on someone ex's opinion. That's why this doesn't work.
It doesn't work. I'll be the first to say it.
And now you might be saying, okay, but we're not looking for a quantitative number, a number for the rating of this person, but is there a qualitative thing? And I just think that's what
your gut is for.
right. You got to trust your gut a little bit here,
Yeah.
and the time that you spend with them. However that works now. I guess you go to a coffee shop
Actions speak louder
and
than
you
words.
figure out if you're going to go somewhere else after that.
Wow.
There's also Facebook pages that mostly women have where if like a guy is known to be a cheater or bad
Right, that
news,
makes sense.
They like put that up there, and then
Oh.
chicks will be like, a lot of them are called "Are we dating the same guy?" And people will find out like, oh yeah, this guy's dating like 5 people right now.
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh, on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could see that being a thing. That makes sense. Technology, man.
Let's get to the other boss one. I was talking about like hiring and being a boss.
Hi, Rhett Link. My name's Mary. I need help. I am in a situation, a professional situation, that my boss and I, the very first time I met him, I accidentally hugged him. I don't know why. I'm not really a big hugger. It just happened.
Ooh.
And now, every time I see him, we hug, and I can't make it stop. I don't know what to do. How do I politely say that I don't really want to hug him anymore, or how do I go about this? I don't know. Please help. Thanks.
Man. I would like to ask a follow-up question because
What is
I'm reading into this that now he's expecting a hug and he's initiating the hugs each time.
Like he's showing up at the top of the meeting.
Like he's coming up and he obviously looks like he's ready for one versus
I'm ready for one.
because if it's the simpler version of this, which is you can't help but hug him, yes you can. Just
No,
so you
it's
know.
mutual. You're right. It's mutual.
You cannot hug someone. It's not hard to listen. Coming from me, it's not hard to not hug somebody. Trust me. I got friends who are huggers, and I kind of just wait for them. I'm like, oh, they want to hug now.
Yeah, you're not a hugger.
I'm just not a hugger. It's just not my thing. But so if you do not reciprocate a hug, I can tell you from personal experience that if you don't initiate, then it won't happen.
But they're both initiated.
It sounds like she initiated and it doesn't necessarily sound like there's anything inappropriate happening.
Yeah.
A
Let's
workplace
say
hug is I mean, we don't do it around here.
Yeah, and it's not efficient. And it's not necessary. It's a little, I mean, I feel for you because you probably hugged your boss because it was just the first meeting of somebody that you wanted to think highly of you. So, because you're not a hugger, you might have gone into hug mode just for the psychology of it, like not even knowing.
I also want to know what kind of job it is.
Yeah, I know. Are they, what's a difficult place to hug?
Well, it sounds like this might be an easy place to hug. That's what I'm trying to think of. Where are places that you would hug somebody?
Here's what you need to do. You need to always be carrying stuff. I'm talking about a lot of stuff.
That's a good one.
You do that for 66 days.
Yep. Always be carrying a couple of books.
Habit will be broken. You're always carrying stuff. Yeah, both hands, like firewood.
Even if it's just a laptop, just go in holding it tight on both sides, like you're really trying to protect it. You don't want to burden yourself. You don't necessarily need to just hurt your back over this.
Well, I'm doing the firewood challenge for the next 66 days.
You know, you can get a stack of books from like Marshall's that's just empty.
Oh, decor books.
It's just decor books. It's just they're all empty, and it's actually just a container to put stuff in.
Yeah, and there's like a
carry one of those around, and it's like
secret compartment.
She's always got these books, and she looks like she's having no trouble at all carrying them.
She's strong, she's studious, but she's not a hugger anymore.
And when you sit down, you keep the books in your lap. So he doesn't sit on your lap. I don't think that's a thing. Probably that's happening.
Is he sitting on your lap? Because you need to break that too. Because you said I don't know what to say. Nothing. Do not say anything. Yep. Don't do this. Mm-hmm. Don't talk to your boss about the hug. Just stop doing it. But you're going to have to compensate by being more friendly.
Oh,
so that he doesn't think anything of it.
That sounds sexist.
Oh, telling a woman to be friendlier?
Yeah.
I didn't mean it that way, but I'll retract it. I
don't think you have to compensate. I think that
they're both.
A hug is
he's used to hugging.
A hug in the workplace, it's not completely out of bounds, but it's not expected. It's not normal. What's normal is not hugging. So let's just take this back to a normal place. It's not offensive.
Whenever you go into a room, find a seat quick. Be the first in the room and you're seated. That's another thing. Because you got the firewood, you're tired.
Because the thing you don't want to do, if what you're thinking is maybe transitioning slowly out of this, you can't do that.
What about a sling?
No, that's too inconvenient.
Yeah, don't move to half hugs.
Don't move to side hugs. And don't try to be like, well, now we're going to replace this with a handshake because that's weird. You're going to shake his hand every time he shows up? No. You know, we don't touch. The only time we touch people around here is when it's part of a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no touching.
I mean, I appreciate the fact that you acknowledge that you got yourself into this mess.
Yeah.
And it's up to you to get yourself out. You're not talking to your boss about it. And you know what? You might get stronger as a result of carrying all that firewood.
These are great ideas. I love the carrying something an idea. But
straitjacket.
If you don't want to do something that's too disruptive, I think it sounds like you might. Maybe you wear a brassiere. I don't know if you do. And what you're going to do is you're going to take some kind. I don't know. Someone's going to have to engineer this. You want something like a needle, like something hard.
A spike?
A little spike.
A brassiere spike?
Just you put it and you just sit in. I don't know how it would work. We can figure it out. And so that when he hugs you, he gets pricked.
You're pricking his sternum.
And first he's going to think, did I just imagine that? Two or three more times of getting pricked every time he hugs you.
Yeah. Every time going a little deeper.
If you want it to be completely passive, I'm just saying hurt him a little bit when he hugs you. That's just another avenue.
I just think of those like...
You got to watch it for yourself.
The death scenes where like two main characters are struggling and you can tell that it's the last scene and all of a sudden You see the look on the one guy's face, and he's like, oh my gosh, he looks like he's in pain. And then the person leans in more, and you realize that like
He's holding a knife.
he's holding a knife and he's just stabbing him.
Those are
It's
the
like,
best
You're
scenes.
saying just hug your boss and just
Well, no, it's more just
kill him.
It's just more. He doesn't even know it at first until he finds a little
Kill that prick.
He finds a little blood spot on his shirt, and he's like, "What the hell? What the hell? I got poked somewhere."
In the sternum.
It's every time she comes in. Now you got to make sure you take it off before you hug friends.
Yeah. I don't think you need to be hugging anybody because that's a problem for you. Man. That's tough.
I think we solved it though.
Yep. Next.
Hi, boys. Specifically, Rhett this time, even though Link, love you, buddy. It's Adele from Maine. I feel like I always say my name and it sounds weird. Adele. Anyway, Rhett, I was wondering about the toe socks because I just watched that episode of More where your toesies came out in the form of white socks. And Stevie wanted to hear more, but Link did not. So I'm just curious. I don't know. I've watched a lot of your guys' content, and I haven't seen this before or heard your rant or positive promotion for toe socks. So please share. Thank you. Love you guys. Bye.
You sure you want to know? You sure you want to know? You sure you want me to go there, Adele? You sure you want me to open this can?
Make it quick.
Oh, that's going to be hard to do.
Okay.
Okay, I will make it quick. And then I'm going to talk to you about a real issue that I'm experiencing right now
Oh.
that goes well beyond toe socks.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember how this started, but I think it may have started with our friend Mike, who was talking about shoes and toe spread and zero drop and all this stuff, right? There's a way people think about feet a lot. People have thoughts about feet and shoes.
If your foot is messed up, that's a big problem.
And it's not just that. I started looking into these barefoot shoes. A barefoot shoe is essentially a shoe that there's 3 characteristics that I can think of off the top of my head. The first is zero drop, meaning that there's no elevation to your heel. On almost every shoe that you would wear in modern society, your heel is a little bit further off the ground, or sometimes a lot further off the ground than your toes. So you're a little bit inclined. So this is not inclined. They're completely straight, the way that your foot has adapted to the environment to walk around. The second thing is there's very little support. There's enough to keep like a rock from going into your skin, but you feel the ground in the way that's sort of representative of the way it would have been if you're walking around barefoot. And then the third thing is your toe box and your shoe is spread out so your toes can be naturally spread out. So if you look at any indigenous culture that walks around barefoot all the time, their feet are much stronger, their toes are much wider, and they're like using their feet in the way that our feet evolved in these natural environments. And they're strong. They can grab shit with their feet. You know, they can do interesting things with their toes. But in most like civilized culture, our feet are like shoved into this narrow toe box and we don't use them and they basically become dumb. You probably, if you're listening, have dumb toes and you can't do individual things with your toes.
Maybe not.
And you might say, well, what's the problem with all this? Well, the problem with this can be that this is the place where your body makes contact with the ground. And every single thing that happens and every single shock and every single, mechanical thing that's happening at your feet propagates itself through your entire system. And if you're somebody like me, who is 6'7", getting older, already has back problems, already has knee problems, you can exacerbate that because you're just, even though you might have like a bunch of cushion on your feet, you're banging around, you're landing on your heels, you're doing all this stuff and you're sending these shock waves basically through your body. So I was like, interesting. You know me, I always have something that I want to be interested in and explore. So I got some of these barefoot shoes and I got them, I got like a pair of boots, I got a pair of workout shoes, I got a pair of hiking shoes because you kind of have to begin to make the transition to these Barefoot shoes. And I'm happy to report that my back hasn't hurt in like 2.5 months, maybe 3 months. I used to wake up every single morning. Now I'm in pretty good shape now, and my back's been in pretty good shape for years, ever since I have done all these exercises and I work on my I do all the exercises for it, maintain flexibility. But I still would wake up every morning with my back hurting, and then I'd be like, oh gosh, I got to go do my thing.
And then the foot change.
Within a week.
Really?
Within a week. And this could just be total coincidence, but it doesn't feel like it. Also, I've been having knee issues. I tore a ligament skiing a couple years ago, and I've got some weird things that happen with my other knee. That has gone away. I had tendonitis in one of my knees when I would hike, and it would get really, really bad, like in my patella. Gone.
Yeah, I have that right now.
Because what's happening is I'm doing, you naturally, when you wear these shoes, you do what's called a midfoot strike. The number of YouTube videos about this is just phenomenal. I just love the internet. And the guys who actually care about this are like nerding out right now, which is a very small percentage of the population. But here, I'm gonna do it. But you end up doing this midfoot strike instead of this like completely like mindless heel strike, right? Which is not how you're supposed to walk. And you just end up walking different everywhere you go. And then your toes begin to spread because they've got room. And this helps with balance. And all of a sudden, you've got more balance when you're barefoot. And I'm a tall man. You start getting older. Falling down is like one of the leading causes of death when you get older, because you lose balance, you fall down, you break your hip, then you die. It's like over a certain age, you fall down and break your hip, you die. And so I'm just thinking about all this back and all this. Here's the main okay, so in the toe socks, so I was talking to Mike about this, and he basically was like, wait till you try toe socks. Because theoretically, if your toes are moving independently of one another, you're experiencing even more spread and even more, because I got a toe spreader that I like wear when I'm like watching TV, like getting the toes spread out.
Like for a pedicure.
Yeah, exactly. And it begins to like, your pinky toe starts waking up and it's like, oh, I'm okay. Little piggy is going to the market, like he's ready. And so I started doing this, and I have experienced this transform. And when I was at Machu Picchu, I wore barefoot hiking shoes the whole day hiking. And my feet feel great. Like, your feet hurt a little bit at the end of the day in a I've been walking type way, but your back and your knees don't. So I'll take that any day.
And what's the brand name you're buying from? Because
multiple. So there's Viba, which is Vibae, and they have like a pop-up shop here in LA. They got one in Malibu too. And it's technically not barefoot. Like, there's a little bit more support in the back, but like there's a toe spread. And I've got a couple of pairs. I've got like a pair of tennis shoes from them and a couple of pair of like boot type things. But then there's the one that everybody who knows about this knows about, which is Vivo Barefoot, which is, they probably sell more of these than anybody. And I got my hiking shoes from them, and they're great.
I've bought shoes from Limbs.
So I took Limbs to Peru.
I'm a fan of Limbs.
Limbs are wide toe box.
LEMS.
So they're wide toe box, zero drop, more support than Vivo Barefoot for sure. They're not technically a barefoot shoe, but they're way better than your typical walking around shoe. That was my day-to-day walking around shoe in Peru. So anyway, I got the toe socks for the toe spread, but I am backing off of them because I actually, in my estimation over the past month, they haven't made a difference. The only difference that they've made is it takes longer to get my damn socks on.
Yeah.
Which is annoying. And so I'm backing off of that. And then when people have to see it,
it's a little...
But here's the real problem. This is the problem. There's a reason that they make shoes that are a little bit elevated in the back and the toes are a little bit pointed, because they look better. Like, we have decided as a human race that these shoes look better, and a shoe that looks more like a foot. I mean, God forbid the ones with the actual toes in the actual, I'm not going to do that. Don't worry. I'm not going to be the guy who wears the foot glove.
Yeah.
But the issue is, and I tried to do this, I got a pair, I wore them to that kickback a few weeks ago
Okay, yeah.
at the Creative House.
Yes.
Because I was like, I'm going to be amongst friends, and I've got these black boots that are like lace-up boots, and the sole is literally this thin, like 3 millimeters, and it's just flat all the way across. There's nothing on the bottom. And then they're leather, and they're shaped like your foot, so they're kind of bulbous. And I put them on, and I was like, these look like clown shoes. I know they look like clown shoes, but maybe I can pull it off. Maybe I can begin to be a part of the trend that makes
It's just
function becomes
you're
the
amongst
form.
friends.
I was trying it in a friendly setting. And so I wore them, and I kind of had my foot up, and Jenny, our friend, was looking at it. And I was like, what do you think about these?
You asked.
Because I could tell she was thinking something.
Yeah.
And I said, they're she didn't say anything. I said, well, because your husband, this is Mike's wife. I was like,
Yeah.
they're like ergonomic, this is why I'm doing this or whatever. And I said, I think they look a little bit like clown shoes. She was like, yeah, I was going to say they look like clown shoes. Especially because they're a black boot, right?
Yeah.
So I haven't worn them since. It kind of scared me off. And I just don't know if
Some things are more important than full body health, Rhett.
That's the thing, is that
You never go full clown.
I've got these, this is a brand, these are not Barefoot, these Pateras, but like they have very little support and they're very thin. And it's pretty traditional. It's pretty
These shoes
traditional.
are great. They have no support. They're very thin. It's like wearing nothing.
No, but that's the thing. You think you want support, and some people who have medical conditions, they have to have the support. Because I got those Hokas for a while, and I was like walking around like I was walking on clouds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
That was last year.
that was last year. But then what I have found is I don't want that. I have a pair of tennis shoes that I've taken the insoles out. And it's just the rubber sole. It's like that thin that I'm walking on. And I went on a 4-mile walk on the road in my neighborhood in these things. And like you just walk completely different.
Because you like how they look.
No, because I'm training my feet. My feet are getting stronger. And I wanted to see what's going to happen. 10 years ago, if I took a 4-mile walk in any pair of shoes, by the time I got back to on a road, by the time I got back to my house, my back would be hurting, my knees would be hurting. I get back, my feet hurt a little bit, but that's the only thing. And then you just get off of them and they're fine. So I'm a big proponent of this. And maybe if I could talk enough people into going with this barefoot shoe trend and going with the wide toe box, I got into
It'll become a style.
I got into a pair of Nike high tops the other day. And I was like, I cannot believe what is happening to my toes right now. It felt like toes that were supposed to be like that were like this. And I immediately took them off. I was like, I can't do this. I cannot do this. It feels so restrictive. I got to spread my toes. So anyway, join this journey with me. Come on this barefoot shoe journey with me, and we'll have big clown shoes. We'll go around in a big old car, and like 25 of us will get out of the car. It'll be like, oh shit, how many people are in that car with those barefoot shoes on? Is this a clown troop?
I mean, the limbs I think look good, and they're like, but they don't. I don't think I didn't miss when I wasn't wearing them, or when I don't wear them.
You haven't fully adapted.
I always hike to them with them.
You haven't fully adapted. And I got Shepard a pair of limbs for the Peru trip, and he wore them, and it was like, no, he was fine. It wasn't like, oh man, these are less comfortable.
Yeah.
And they fold up real, you can like pack them. That's the thing about all these barefoot shoes. They're so minimalist. You can take like 7 pairs of shoes with you on a trip because they all just get
Why have
really
one
small.
ugly pair of shoes when you can have
Yes!
6 more? See, when you call us, you fuel these type of conversations. Some of them we like, some of them we don't. I didn't like that conversation.
Yep.
But you asked for it,
Right.
And Rhett gave it to you.
I mean, some of you tuned out. It's fine.
And some of you liked it.
This isn't for you. That was for you. It wasn't
know
for
what?
you. It was for you. You know what I mean?
So thank you for calling in with your quandaries, questions, and quests. 1-888-EARPOD1. We'll speak at you next week. And I don't say this often, but I'm going to say it now. Leave us a review wherever you listen.
Yeah.
I'm told that it helps. Thank you for doing that. Bye-bye.
Hey
Hey, Rhett and Link. This isn't so much a question as it is something cool that I thought you might want to hear. My name's Kate. I am a student at the University of Florida, and I study classical history. And for my final project this year, I painstakingly translated an episode of Good Mythical Morning into archaic Latin. So, if and when time travel is invented, the ancient Romans will be able to consume your content. And for that, you're welcome. Thanks. Bye.
I'm so sorry for the things that I'm going to say, but I'm sure you're going to take it on the chin, except for you, Rhett. Listen, you can't be 6'7" and have a chin. It's just too many things.